They say the easiest way to get a Nigerian man to drink poison is to tell him it will give him a solid, lasting erection. You could mix mango leaves, cassava stem, and a sprinkle of good shit inside gin, and he will take it without question, if it promised to give him an edge in the bedroom. That Saturday morning, when Jide had visited the Agbo seller at the junction, you know, one of those Yoruba women whose hips were so wide that they looked like they deserved their own local government. The woman took one look at Jide, smelled knowingly and said, "My son, if you take this one, your something will stand like Ujuku's tattoo." Now the woman go beg. Exactly the idea I had in mind, Jide thought to himself. He had been tracking this baby met on a dating app 3 weeks ago, and she was coming to visit that evening. You know what they say about first impressions? He couldn't take any chances, so he bought a bottle of Agbo to give himself some home advantage. When Jide got home, he poured himself a generous dosage of the dirty liquid mixture and swallowed it with the faith of a man who believed he was drinking his own upgrade. He looked around his tidy room, pushed down on different sides of his mattress to ensure the bed was ready for the action the night promised, wiped his mouth, nodded to himself and said, "This night go too sweet." In all his calculations, Jide had disregarded a wise saying from the streets. "Na Mumu dey drink Agbo because Naija babe say I'm on my way." And on this unfortunate Saturday evening, Jide was going to learn the hard way, literally.
Jide did not enter this wahala by mistake. No, he walked into it with full chest and dirty imagination. Because 3 weeks earlier, he met Bella on a dating app. You know the type, where everybody pretends they are looking for something deep, but deep down, they are just looking for somebody to use. The app was full of women shouting, "I am not here for hookup," which in Lagos is usually Morse code for, "If you don't have money, don't DM me. If you know, you know." Bella's pictures were wicked. The kind of find that makes an ambitious man say, "Omo, just the tip self, I am okay." This babe was fine. Skin be looking like pig milk. Every department set. But Jide wasn't a learner. He had been in the game long enough to know that in 2025, iPhone filters and AI could easily make one Nkechi in Umunede look like an upgraded version of Kim Kardashian. So he had one simple rule. Subtract 60% from any babe's online beauty. What's left is her real face. So he applied this formula to the pictures of Bella he saw, and the remaining 40% still looked like a woman that could easily make a celibate monk misbehave. 5 minutes into chatting with Bella, and his brain was already calculating positions like WAEC pass questions. His thoughts towards her were not thoughts of good at all, just pure, unadulterated knackery. And Bella, being a smart Lagos babe, sensed his evil intentions immediately. Lagos women can smell a man who is thinking with his waist before he even finishes typing hi. Within 3 weeks, she had casually asked Jide for lunch money, DSTV renewal, and small addition to complete a shrebi for my friend's wedding. Normally, Jide was not the kind of guy to agree funding a baby he had not even met, but his lust was already on overdrive. He convinced himself these were not expenses, but pre-knacking investments. He did the math and the return on investment still looked good.
So, when Bella finally texted, "I can come over this Saturday," Jide nodded at his phone like a man who had successfully placed a bet he knew would cash out. He said aloud to himself, "Return on investment, sure odds." In his mind, the calculations made sense. 3 small investments plus fine babe equals visitation. So he entered preparation mode. He cleaned his room like he was expecting EFCC and couldn't stand the risk of having a stray 500 naira note interpreted as money laundering. He folded clothes he had not folded in months. He changed the bedsheet too, because a fine babe like Bella should not see the history printed on old bedsheets. And in his mind, the plan was simple. Bella will come, they will gist, chemistry will set in, one thing will lead to another, and Agbo will do the rest.
Saturday finally arrived. Around 3 p.m., Bella sent the message that activated all of Jide's internal systems. "Baby, I'm on my way." Jide nodded slowly, the way Nigerian men nod when they want to pretend something is normal. He replied, "All right, safe trip." But inside his chest, small excitement did butterfly. He wore that calm, calculated male confidence that says things are aligning. What Jide didn't know was that between a babe's house and your house, a lot could happen. Her mood can change, Lagos traffic could arise, her ex could chat her up, or a man in a flashy car could slow down, wind down, and ask the epic question, What is a fine girl like you doing under the hot sun? And just like that, I am on my way, could change to something came up. But Jide didn't consider any of this. He simply lay on his clean bed, phone beside him, fan blowing, confidence rising gently, like Gary inside warm water. In that moment, life looked promising, but fate had other plans.
By 4:17 p.m., Jide's confidence was fully installed. The Agbo had also started his silent activation, not violently, just warm, purposeful, like a generator warming up before a night vigil. Jide checked his phone, no message yet, no problem. He wasn't worried. Bella was on her way, and in Jide's mind, that sentence meant something close to commitment. Then, at 4:26 p.m., Jide's phone buzzed. He smiled casually and picked it up, expecting, "Babe, I'm close." Instead, he saw, "Jide, please don't be angry. I can't make it again." Just like that. No build-up, no apology that carried weight, no explanation that made sense. Just one casual sentence, strong enough to reset a man's blood pressure. Jide blinked, read it again. It felt like a bad joke. The Agbo inside him stood at attention as if to ask, "You say waiting?" He swallowed. His throat felt dry. His chest tightened small. This wasn't disappointment. This was destiny slapping him across the face. He did what any desperate man in his condition would do. He tried to call Bella 10 times. No answer. Not even a flashback. It slowly dawned on him that he had just entered one chance. The babe most likely never left her house at all. Without thinking, he messaged her, "You can never make it in this life." And then he looked at the nearly empty bottle of Agbo sitting in the corner and muttered to himself, "God, who sent me?"
After Bella cancelled, Jide sat on his bed like a man who had just watched his destiny evaporate in broad daylight. But that wasn't even the real problem. The real problem was growing right there between his legs. At first, it was small movement, just a gentle reminder that Agbo doesn't have a refund policy. Everything is ahead. Then it became a warm pause. Then a firm nudge. Then a full declaration of independence. Jide looked down slowly, like a man checking if his house was on fire. It was. The thing had risen like the price of fuel 1 week to Christmas. He stood up. Mistake. The Agbo followed him up like a standing ovation. He sat down. Another mistake. The Agbo refused to sit. He lay on his back. The thing pointed at the ceiling like he wanted to pray. He drank cold water. Nothing changed. He lay flat on his stomach. The thing nearly drilled a hole through his mattress. Jide took one look at this stubborn erection that refused to negotiate and whispered again, this time with broken humility, "God, I beg, what is all this?" When night came, Jide lay back on his bed in the dark, both hands on his head, his problem still standing like a soldier awaiting parade. He stared at the ceiling with the quiet resignation of a man who knew he had brought this upon himself. True. Na Mumu dey drink Agbo because Naija babe say, "I am on my way." Because normally, with a Naija babe, something can easily come up. Literally. End of story. Catch you in the next episode of our Naija stories. Until then, remain wise. You know how we roll now? If you like, subscribe. If you no like, leave 'em.